everybody, how are you today? Good. Okay, well, Project 3, you know we finished Unit 6 last week. So today we're going to do a revision class because you have your Unit 6 exam. Woo, lucky you. Okay, so we'll do the revision today on YouTube, and then this afternoon I will send the exam to you via email. All right, you can print the exam and write on the exam, or if you prefer to look at the exam on the computer and write on paper, no problem. Take a photo or scan it and email it to me to correct. Okay, now I know you're doing this in your homes, but no cheating. Okay, today is revision, so perfect, use your books. But for the exam, no books. Okay? Perfect. Well, there's 4 things that you need to study for your exam. Okay, and I've put them here. The first one is should and shouldn't. Number 2, must, mustn't, and don't have to. Number 3 is problems. And number 4 is the phrasal verbs. Okay, so let's go through each of them. All right, we're going to start with should and shouldn't. So very simple. We use should to say that something is a good idea. Okay, and we use shouldn't for the opposite because it's a bad idea. Exactly. What do we use after should or shouldn't? Do we use a noun? No. An adjective? No. A verb? Yes. And what form of the verb do we use? Good. We use the infinitive form. Okay, so let's think about some problems from the book. Okay, for example, what's the problem? Good, I've got a headache. So what advice would you give me? Good, you should take a painkiller, a paracetamol, for example. Excellent, well done. Okay, what's the problem? Oh, my eyes. Ugh. Yes, I've got sore eyes. What should I do? Good, you should go to the opticians. You should have your eyes tested. You shouldn't sit so close to the television. Excellent, well done. What else then? What's the problem? That's it, I'm cold. What should I do? Good, you should put on a jumper. Fantastic. Easy peasy, yeah? Should, shouldn't. Good idea, bad idea. All right, you should study for the exam. It's a good idea. You shouldn't. What shouldn't you do in an exam? Good. You shouldn't look in your book. Okay. So, should, shouldn't, easy peasy. Next up then is must, mustn't, and don't have to. Okay. Now, with these, must and mustn't is easy. We use must to talk about an obligation. Okay, you must study for this exam. Now it's not a good idea, now it's an obligation. It's much stronger. Okay, we use mustn't if it's prohibited. So it's different to should and shouldn't. Okay, these are good ideas and bad ideas. Here is a lot stronger. Must, it's an obligation. Mustn't is prohibition. Okay, you mustn't do it. But this one, don't have to, means there's no obligation. Okay, you can, but you don't have to. It's not necessary. Okay, do you have to wear a uniform to school? No. I mean, you can wear a uniform, but it's not an obligation. Okay, so obligation, prohibition, and no obligation. Okay, and again, with must, mustn't, and don't have to, we use an infinitive. Easy peasy? Good. So let's have a little practice, okay? If you look in your books at page 78, okay? And look at exercise 1, all right? We're going to read the signs and look at the notices, okay? And I'd like you to complete the 10 sentences, excuse me, with must, mustn't, or don't have to, okay? Must, mustn't, or don't have to. So remember, look carefully at the sign, what's the meaning of the sign, and then decide if it's an obligation, a prohibition, or it's not necessary. Okay? You know what to do. Pause the video, do the exercise, and when you finish, come back and we'll go through the answers. Okay? Pause now. Right, how did you do? Easy peasy? Good. Well, first, let's read the pool rules together. So the first one, have a shower before and after you use the pool. Does that mean it's an obligation to have a shower or it's not necessary? Good, it's an obligation before and after you use the pool. Well done. The second one then, don't leave money or jewellery in the changing rooms. Put them in a locker with your clothes. So here, remember, jewellery is necklace, earrings, ring, things like this. Okay, so don't leave them in the changing rooms. The changing rooms is the area that you take off your clothes and put on different clothes. Okay, put them in a locker is this, with your clothes. So does that mean that it's an obligation to leave your money in the changing room, or it's a prohibition? Exactly. Don't do it. It's a prohibition. Number 3 then, children under 14 can only use the pool with an adult. So if you're 8 years old, are you allowed to use the pool alone? No, it's prohibited. The next one then, no diving into the pool. It's not allowed, it's prohibited. And finally, be careful when you walk around the pool. Don't run. Okay, so it's prohibited to run. You have to be careful. So let's look at the 10 sentences then. Number 1, you have a shower before you use the pool. You must. Well done. Excuse me. Number 2, you mustn't leave money or jewellery in the changing rooms. Number 3, you must put them in a locker. Here, you must put them is the money and jewellery. Number 4, you must put your clothes in a locker. Okay, remember here, you put things in a locker with your clothes. Number 5, children under 14 mustn't use the pool without an adult. Yeah, so if you're under 14, no adult, no pool. Number 6, young people over 14 don't have to be with an adult. Okay, so here you can be with an adult, but it's not necessary because you are more than 14 years old. Number 7 then, you mustn't dive into the pool. Number 8, you must be careful near the pool. Number 9, you mustn't run round the pool. And number 10, you must take a shower after you use the pool. How did you do? Everything perfect? Yeah, well done. Now, in the exam, for these words, should, shouldn't, must, mustn't, and don't have to, it's not enough to only know the vocabulary. You need to write sentences using these words. Okay, so remember to always use the infinitive. You must go with an adult. You mustn't play with your friends. You should take a tablet. Okay, remember the infinitive, super important. All right, good. Now the next thing on our list, okay, is problems. Do you remember the different problems people could have with their body at the start of Unit 6? It's on page 68. Page 68, this vocabulary. Okay, so remember, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm thirsty, I'm bored, I'm tired, my knee hurts, my back hurts, I've got a headache, I've got a spot, I've got sore eyes. Okay, this vocabulary you also need to study. Okay? Now the final one, is phrasal verbs. Now, where's my... here. Okay, let's get rid of this. Now remember, phrasal verbs are when we use one verb plus a participle to create a new verb. Okay, if we say get, that could be get a t-shirt, for example. But when we use get with up, it means in the morning when you get out of bed. Okay, get up. So have a look at these phrasal verbs and can you put them into their opposites? Okay, I'm going to write them here and you need to match them with their opposites. Okay, so let's start with Can you see that okay? Come out of. Good. Okay. All right, so here we have some different phrasal verbs, okay? Turn on, put on, go in, get on, switch on. Can you match them with their opposites? We have come out of, get off, turn off, switch off, and take off. Okay, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds to match the phrasal verbs with their opposites. Okay, 30 seconds, starting now. "15 seconds, how are you doing?" Okay, how did you do? Let's go through. So the first one then, turn on. Very good, easy peasy. Turn off. What things can you turn off and on? Yeah, turn on the TV, turn on the light, or turn off the light. Okay? Turn on a light, turn on a phone, turn on a TV. Anything with electricity, you can turn on and turn off. Perfect. The next one then, put on, is the opposite of take off. What type of things do we put on and take off? Good. Clothes. Yes, put on a hat. Take off a hat. Okay. The next one then, go in and come out of. Yeah, this one is usually to talk about places. So go in the classroom, come out of the shop, for example, to enter and exit. Enter, go in, exit, come out of. Okay. The next one then, get on and get off. What can you get on and off? Exactly, a bus. Get on the bus and get off the bus. Be careful, we don't go in the bus, it's not possible. Okay, with transport, get on, get off, or get in, get out if it's a car. And finally then, switch on and switch off. Which one has the same meaning? Good. Turn on and turn off is exactly the same as switch on and switch off. Okay? Now, in the exam, you're going to see some pictures and you need to say what is happening. Remember, what is happening? Present continuous. Okay? So, for example, if you have... I know, I'm an artist. This is obviously a person, and this is obviously a bus. So what is he doing? He's... Which one do we use? Good. He's getting on a bus. Present continuous. He is... and ing. Remember, you need to change the verb to be depending on who you're talking about. So he's getting on a bus. I'm getting on a bus. You are getting on a bus. They are getting on a bus. So don't forget to change this, okay, depending on the picture. All right? Any questions? Email me, no problems. All right? So that's it for the revision. This afternoon, I will email you the exam. Like I said, please don't cheat, okay? You mustn't look in your book. You mustn't ask your parents. You mustn't look in a dictionary, okay? Do the exam after the revision, all right? And then next week, we'll do something different. Perfect. Have a good day, guys. Bye.